Welcome to Property Talk from Louise's Lounge. My name's Louise Heatley and I'm Managing Director of Exclusive Links Real Estate with over 17 years experience in the Dubai real estate market. Through our podcast series, it's an opportunity for us to give you some market insights, discuss some interesting topics, have some guest attendees, and it's also an opportunity for you to meet some of our team. On today's episode, we have one of our own, Pauline Leale, who heads the Elite Collection, Exclusive Links luxury brand. Pauline's been in the real estate industry for over 20 years, and as a previous owner of a successful real estate company, she's very well connected. Pauline works with a portfolio of private clients who are looking for professional experience, maturity, integrity, and utmost honesty. A well-known figure in the industry is Jerry Parks. Jerry Parks is partner and head of sales in an international law firm, Taylor Wessing. Jerry's been in Dubai for over 25 years and mainly works with high net worth and high profile clients and their real estate investments. Jerry is also advising on structuring of real estate acquisitions and succession and inheritance cases. So thank you, Pauline. Thank you, Jerry, for joining us today on our podcast series. So let's get straight in. Pauline, we obviously felt the need to set up the Elite Collection, the luxury brand. Why was that?
There's been an awful big increase in the luxury end of the market. And I think certainly over the last few years, everything was branded as luxury, but actually it wasn't quite what it should be. So there was a need for bringing in a sort of bespoke service. For a lot of these clients, the deals are more complicated, they require different things. So it was a really good idea to, bring in a bespoke service for them.
And rebrand it. And what classifies as a property in our Elite Collection? What's the criteria?
Well, for us at Exclusive Links, we've done it as 15 million dirhams and above. There's a range of services that can be tailored to 15 million, or it can go up as high as 100 million, 200 million. It just depends what the client wants, but our baseline is 15 million.
Do they sometimes look at trying, 15 million is a huge investment, so do you ever get somebody that might want to rent a huge 1 million, 2 million property just to get a feel for it first?
That happens a lot, where they'll maybe just test it for a year, see if they like living in that location, and then they'll buy.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Jerry, you've worked with Pauline for many years and you look after these high net worth customers. So there's some extra demands that we're laughing, lots of extra demands. So give us an idea on the transaction side.
Yeah, there can be. I mean, high net worth clients are obviously people at the end of the day. But I think because of their profile in many cases, because of the amounts involved, there's certainly a greater focus on confidentiality, for example. So that's not just in terms of keeping deal details confidential, but also that can influence how you structure a deal. So it may well not be the individual themselves who is the registered buyer. They may decide to look at some sort of offshore corporate structuring or what is becoming quite popular now, which is the use of DIFC foundations for buying properties. And if you do that, you can protect the identity of the client to a greater degree than if they just buy in their personal name.
So do you find that there's always NDAs required for these high net worth clients, or it's just optional?
We don't, simply because within the legal profession, and particularly us as UK lawyers, we're already bound by confidentiality arrangements, which are through our membership of the Law Society of England and the Legal Affairs Department in Dubai. So there's no real need to put an overlay of an NDA on top of that.
It's a given anyway.
Yeah, it is a given. Yeah. But having said that, some clients may insist that everybody in the transaction signs an NDA, and if that's the case, then I have no objection to signing an NDA that simply reflects the terms of confidentiality that we're already bound by.
It's all about client comfort. Do you get that as well, Pauline?
Yeah, it's interesting. I've been asked recently a few times for signing potential buyers signing NDAs before property information is given over, which we haven't seen before. So that's why we were really establishing the Elite Collection, because if you have an Elite Collection property to sell, It's not just a case of putting it on one of the portals. And so there are a lot of confidential information that people don't want out in their market.
Do you actually find as well that a client will come to you, have a luxury property, but do not want us to market it?
Yes. All the time.
All the time, okay.
Yeah.
Again, it's that confidentiality, you know, keeping their own private information. So what do we do?
But likewise, you know, with properties of that stature, and, you know, they have to be marketed properly. They have to have proper marketing brochures, and, you know, that has to be going to the right people. It's not a case of just taking some pictures and putting it on a portal. You know, that's not how these properties are sold.
So how do you sell these properties? They don't want them on the portals, don't want them on the website. What do we do as a service to still find buyers for those off-market listings?
It's mainly dealing with the network, really, of people that we know deal in that market, that are interested or that deal with these type of clients. So obviously we prepare the beautiful brochures and now the electronic brochures, because a lot of the buyers are from overseas. The photographs and the videos are very important. And a lot of the time it's dealing with their lawyers or their business people. And, you know, quite often we have to send information first, and then they will decide if they want to come and view. So it's all done very privately and very confidential, rather than, you know, being marketed on the portals.
It's the direct marketing going out there to that group of preferred clients, not the word, but that clientele.
Yeah.
And Jerry, the contracts of sale, obviously Form F, the standard government contract, but the additional clauses. Is there anything that is particularly generic for high net worth clients that we include, or precautions that we have to consider, different to?
Yeah, I mean, it's important to say that, you know, we all use the Form F, so no matter what the value of the property, we're still using the Form F. But then in the additional terms and conditions, I suppose, we tend to see some peculiarities, I suppose. Often with some of the bigger villas, they may come with artwork or expensive furniture, and it's important therefore to you know, have inventories that closely define what is passing across with the property. Confidentiality, as I've said before, is sometimes we beef up those provisions that are already in the Form F, but we might want to just emphasise the confidentiality points. Sometimes we've had staff that are working and have worked in a villa for many years, and maybe the buyer would like to take over those staff, and obviously subject to the staff being happy to go across, then we include provisions for the transfer of employees. And we tend to beef up one or two of the provision when it comes to the escrow arrangements, simply because of the amounts involved. Although the Form F provides for a simple sort of fault-based forfeiture of the deposit, because the amount is so big, we tend to more closely define what is a default, just so that there's no argument about that, because the amounts are not the kind of amounts you want to be.
Do you find other assets included in these luxury, you know, their cars, their speedboats?
Sometimes,
Artwork is quite often included.
Yeah, artwork.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean we worked on one the other day where there was a car that was thrown in.
And all of that has to be incorporated, but also another transaction.
Yeah, exactly. So that needs to be factored into the property agreement, but then there's a whole other thing that needs to go on with the transfer of the registration of the car.
Do you find, because I know this is not standard before in Dubai as such, do you find with the higher end, people do the inspections, the pre-inspections, they get an outside company to come in and check the property themselves? I mean, they're such large, you know, expensive, important purchases, as any investment is. But do you find that a little bit more with the higher end, or?
For new properties that are being handed over, yes. I work with quite a few companies that offer that service, and my clients have used that. And then, you know, they do a very thorough job, 40 to 50 pages
Oh, gosh.
report. But yeah, mainly just for the new properties, yeah.
And you've incorporated the same in the contracts as well,
Yeah,
for subject to an inspection,
yeah,
for example.
it's usually as a precondition.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think especially with the high-end properties, that some clients are a little bit sensitive about it, so they do want surveys done. You know, surveys are less common at the lower end of the market, but with the higher end, we do see people retaining, you know, private consultants who will inspect inside, outside, build quality, soil quality, water quality. I mean,
There's
you
no
name it.
doubt of what they're getting, and it's just keeping everything
Yeah.
tight. So, Pauline, what are the most sought after luxury communities out there? If I had 15 million to give you right now, where would we be going?
Well, obviously Palm Jumeirah is pretty much number one out there at the moment. But there are a lot of new luxury properties, and there's always been, I think the difference now, what I'm finding is, you know, a lot of the developers are dealing with international companies that are designing houses in LA and Cape Town and things, and they're coming in for a more modern kind of design.
It's a huge global
and
influence.
There is, and there's a huge demand for that at the moment. So you've got the Palm, but you've got beautiful penthouse apartments in downtown. You have incredible properties coming up out in Dubai land now. There's a few. There's quite a few.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
One of your favourites, Talal, Al Gaf. I bought
Yeah.
there as well.
Oh, did you?
Not one of the 15 million,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but yeah.
Yeah, beautiful development, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a spoil for choice, which
Yes.
is why we still have this huge demand.
But what's interesting is, you know, there's a very big difference between a luxury property and what I now class as an ultra luxury property. There's not a huge supply of what the real high net worths are looking for.
Okay. They want something even more up there.
Yeah, and you know, they see as standard that everything should be automated and green and energy efficient and everything like that. And that's just coming in now in a lot of the newer developments. So, yeah.
They're up in the bar, aren't they?
They are.
They want
Yeah.
more
Yeah,
for
they
their
are for sure.
bang
And
for their buck,
I think
yeah.
where we see that as well is a lot of our clients buying on Jumeirah Bay, for example,
Yeah,
where you can buy the
Jumeirah Bay,
plot. And
Yes.
that, of course, gives you the freedom to build
Yeah.
to whatever standard you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think some buyers who are not finding the quality that they want in other
Correct.
locations are now seeing, although obviously you buy the plot, you've got to build, there's a time lag in there, but at least you can control
Yeah,
the
and
quality
you
that
can
you
build it
end up with.
bespoke and
Yeah.
have it exactly.
And I think people are happy to wait 2-3 years for their own property rather than buying one and renovating.
Yeah.
Although there is
Yeah.
a lot of renovation going on, but yeah.
I know they say they buy these gorgeous,
Yeah.
beautiful properties and then rip them up and change them. You're like, oh. But it's to get that bespoke,
Yeah.
exactly what they want.
Yeah.
And Jerry, we have a lot of the high net worth clients from our Russian-speaking countries. Can you help with their purchases? Do you offer escrow accounts? Can you talk us through that process a little bit?
We can. I mean, with all clients, we have to do our KYC like everybody else. So that's a process that we go through. With Russian clients, we now have to cross-check against sanctions lists that have been recently
That's one
released.
additional step.
Yeah, so there's a sort of additional layer of KYC that we have to do in relation to Russian clients. But there's no blanket ban, for example, on us or any other firm, I don't think, acting for Russian clients, provided they pass those stages. Then we're happy to act. Now, once we are instructed, we can receive client funds in relation to the transaction. So on a purchase, obviously, we can receive the purchase funds, and on a sale, we can receive the proceeds of sale. So for a lot of overseas clients, particularly, well, wherever they are, if they don't have a bank account in Dubai, that can cause a problem. So one advantage I always point out of instructing us is that they can use our client account for that purpose. Now, we have to be slightly careful because it can only be used for the purposes of the transaction. We can't be seen to be acting as a bank, but we can be seen to be facilitating the transaction in relation to which we're instructed. So that can be very helpful, I find, for a lot of overseas clients that either don't have an account, or even if they do have an account, then if they're not here, they're not necessarily on the ground and able to cut managers' checks in the time required, whereas we can facilitate that process.
I think that's a big problem of them getting their funds here. They want to purchase, but it's a safe, controlled.
Yeah, and it is a safe. I mean, I know we talk about escrow account, but technically what happens is that they transfer their funds to our client account. So it's not an escrow account that is sitting between them as the buyer and the seller. It's actually their client account that they can control completely through us.
Okay.
So it's not an escrow account in that sense. It's funds that are here under their control, and we only make payments on their instructions.
Louise. And also with regards to the KYC and due diligence, how recent is all these KY laws impacting us, if at all? Are they? Do we see that it's taking away potential buyers from the market? Additional KY?
I don't think they're leaving the market. They're perhaps, I mean, there are some buyers for whom we can't act because they don't satisfy the KYC requirements. But that simply means we can't deal with them. It doesn't mean that they can't buy in the Dubai property market. So I don't see that it's
And if
really
anything,
been
I
an
think
issue.
all the regulation that has come in has actually strengthened the market. It's made people a lot more confident to put their money here.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think lots of regulations and procedures just actually, help us keep the market strong and mature the market. But we haven't noticed a drop in clientele because of the different laws. So Pauline, what increase has Dubai witnessed in the luxury market? Let's look over the last 2 years. We've always said 2020, COVID years, and obviously Dubai. So can you talk us through a little bit about the increases and what has contributed to that?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, there's lots of numbers flying around, but definitely the last 3 months, so July, August, September, for the ultra luxury market has been the best they've ever had.
Wow, ever?
Ever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, just alone, there was a report a couple of days ago that said the month of October was 29% increase.
Wow.
Which is huge.
Huge. Can we sustain this?
That's the thing.
Fingers crossed.
But I mean, I think at the moment for Dubai, they've got, they've really done a good job with regards to attracting people into Dubai. It's a great place to live. It's a safe place to live. All the visas that have come in have allowed people to, in essence, be based here, but still run their global companies and things like that. So it's a really good option for people.
Yeah, the government initiatives are definitely making this
they're
the top
fantastic,
spot, the place to be, and give them so many options, as you say, to come, go, work, play, have homes.
Yeah, and Dubai is so centrally located, so it's good. It's good for Europe. It's good for everywhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what key additional services or high-end buyers are looking for? I know we've talked a lot about the contracts and various things. What do you deliver, Pauline?
Oh, there's a question.
What don't I?
I think the main thing is actually just having the knowledge and then the contact. So, for example, you don't just sell a client a house and walk away. For me, it's about being able to offer them the whole setup and introduce them to the right people. So obviously, if a buyer's coming into town, I've been here 20 years, I know Dubai quite well, and I can help them, if anything, from bank account setups to schools to, that kind of thing.
It's like a concierge service.
It is.
You have to be ready to go above and beyond and deliver more.
Yeah, 100%. And, for a few of my past clients, just if they're not here, because a lot of them are not here when they actually do buy, it's taking handover of the property, helping them furnish it, whatever it is they need.
Put breakfast in the fridge for them. Have you gone that far yet? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, get the house ready for them coming over.
So anybody got any more tips or suggestions out there for the clients looking to buy high-end properties, apart from call Jerry and call Pauline?
Well, I would just echo what Pauline was just saying. I think, you've been here 20 years, I've been here 25 years. It's about you know, for buyers, I find it's about them coming in and hooking up with people who actually
Yeah.
have some experience and know what they're doing and can afford them the greatest protection.
Yeah.
For, you know, we're talking about a lot of money and we're talking about big
Yeah.
investments, big properties. So they want to feel comfortable that they're safe in all of this process. And I think that's, you know, what we can offer in the immediate sense.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, and then there's ancillary services, you know, as far as we're concerned, when they maybe talk about visas, which is increasingly the next step for property owners here. It's, you know, gone are the days where people were buying to invest and flip. You know, now people are buying to bring the family over and
Correct,
talking about visas.
Yeah.
That goes hand in hand with then maybe talking about setting up a company. So they want to talk to somebody about that, which we can do. And people will also talk about things like inheritance and succession.
Yeah.
So we can advise on either structuring it so that we can address that issue, or we can do DIFC wills to you know, so that they can feel covered. So there's a lot of things like that I think we can offer.
Yeah.
And I think
Yes.
having the knowledge is key, you know, and being, you know, honest with them, being able to give them proper, honest advice on each and every different development. It's very important.
It's very service oriented. It's not about selling, as you say, it's about your experience. And between the two of you on the couch, it's all nearly 45, 50 years of experience.
That's a bit embarrassing.
Yeah. Not age, I should say.
How did it come to that?
Well, thank you both very much for joining us today.
Absolute
I hope
pleasure.
it wasn't like the dentist.
No,
I did hear that comment earlier,
not-
Jerry.
not
He's
quite as
like,
bad, no.
this is like going to the dentist. Was it that bad?
No, not as bad.
Not at all. No, thank you, and I hope you can come back again
Yeah,
sometime.
thank you.
I appreciate it.
Love to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in today from Property Talk from Louise's Lounge. We hope you enjoyed today's chat, and as always, if you've got any questions or comments or suggestions for future topics, please do get in touch, and I hope you tune in again soon. Thank you.